qualified audience through all the noise out there today. Consider taking an advertisement out on Hunterdon Chamber Radio, WHCR DB, the voice of business. Contact the Chamber today at 908-782-7115 or give us an email at info@hunterdon-chamber.org.
Oh, tan next week. That'll be nice. Okay, we're on the air here. This is I Love New Jersey. I love New Jersey radio so much. Location, location, location. If you're watching in, you are looking at our studio here in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, which is exactly halfway between New York City and Philadelphia. We have access to almost everything from the central Jersey here, the shore, the Poconos, the cities, and we just love New Jersey. So I'm Jeanne Murphy, and my guest is Anne Thornton.
And I love New Jersey, too.
I know you do.
I can't hear that in my headphones.
Oh, you can't? I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, good.
Yeah, make sure you're loud there.
Okay.
Okay, Anne, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thanks.
Because I love New Jersey.
I know you do.
And I'm not even from here.
Really? Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I know.
right?
I've heard your history. Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. Go ahead. Tell us about it again so everybody out there gets
How
to know.
I landed in New Jersey. Because really, I mean, who would have thunk it, right? All these years. So I was born in Arkansas, which is a tale unto itself. And then my family moved to California, where I spent all my teenage years. Then after that, I moved back to Arkansas, where I went to college and became a school teacher, a vocational school teacher, to be exact. And then I moved to New York City, to Manhattan. And never, ever thinking about New Jersey. I moved East Coast to, be in the city and work, which I did. And then lo and behold, of course, I met someone who was living here over in Clinton. And that's how I got to Hunterdon County. And that was in 1986. And I love New Jersey because I love Hunterdon County.
So do I.
Yeah, and I tell people that all the time. It's funny because I'm not from here. I always feel like when I'm venturing to I call it the real New Jersey, where like all the people live.
Yes.
Whenever we go east,
yes,
kind of thing. It's like, I don't know where I am. I had to get a new car with GPS so I could just figure out where I'm going, right?
Yes.
And but I love Hunterdon County and this part of West Central, I guess we'd call it here. It's been a wonderful place to grow our business, to grow our family, to be so involved in the community. And having lived in other parts, I also lived in Kansas when I was in graduate school. So I lived in Arkansas, Kansas, California, New York, and New Jersey. Yeah. So, I've seen, and my family still all lives in Arkansas, a few relatives in California. So having seen, really some quite different parts of the country, it's just amazing here, the level of living that we get to do here. Of course, it's due in part, a big part, to the affluency here, and the kinds of excellent schools we have, health care, roads. Sure, you might complain about a pothole, but until you've been somewhere else.
Oh boy. It's amazing.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just a really wonderful place to be, and I will be here forever.
And I call Anne Thornton Mrs. Hunterdon, because she is a big member of the community. She's on the board here of the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce, which is where this studio broadcasts from. And she's an author. She has a book out. It's called Anne Thornton's Insider's Guide to Home Improvement, because she owns MSI Plumbing and Remodeling here in Hunterdon County, serving pretty much the whole central Jersey.
Hunterdon, Somerset, Warren, basically, yeah.
And, I want to really quickly let everybody know also that you have your foundation that you and Les have.
Oh, yeah. We have an interesting side business, if you will. My husband, Les Giese, is an avid hunter, so it's great that we live here. And over 20 years ago, he and two other hunters founded a nonprofit group called Hunters Helping the Hungry. And basically, it's a process where butchers are qualified to work with the meat, and all of the meat gets put into the food bank system. So in 20 years, we have fed almost 2 million meals. You figure you get 4 meals out of a pound of meat. Most of the meat is made into like hamburger. So and they package it in 2-pound packages. And so it gets, so that people who've never had venison before, I mean, anybody can cook hamburger. You make spaghetti, you make tacos, you make meatballs, you make hamburgers. Yes. I mean, there's a million things you can make venison burger meat, you know.
It's important to note this because in Hunterdon County, again, I love Hunterdon, I love New Jersey, and so does Anne. We are like either first or second or somewhere up in the top with deer. Right?
Like,
it's like there deer everywhere. And again, dispelling the rumors about New Jersey, because everybody thinks we're just a turnpike or something. And meanwhile, all we do is run into deer everywhere all the time. But the thing is, for you and Les and your organization to have fed nearly 2 million people is incredible.
I know.
It's so fulfilling.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to note, because when you were talking about just how you love Hunterdon, you love New Jersey, you love the fact that we do have such a great community here.
Right.
And then you're such a part of it.
You know, I go home to Arkansas. My parents live in southern Arkansas, so it's almost to Louisiana, very rural. You know, it's the lumber industry, timber. Down South Arkansas, they grow pine trees like crazy. They make timber and paper and other small manufacturing type companies, where they can get away from the unions down there. And I'll look at, maybe a similar place with a similar population, and yet when you look at their newspapers to see what's going on, and you compare it to our newspapers to see what's going on, it's just an amazing difference. Because there is so much more volunteerism here, so much more community engagement. Oh, yeah. And involvement in the schools, in, whatever it is, the health care, et cetera. And I love that about, being here. Yes. That is a lot of people who want to be engaged. And that's, it's a wonderful place to live because of that.
It's funny that you mentioned Louisiana, because I grew up in the South, and I lived in Louisiana before my parents relocated here to Hunterdon County. And I remember being in 6th grade. And my dad with Johnson & Johnson was transferred to New Jersey. And when I heard it, just because of what I, as a 6th grader, thought of New Jersey, just because of reading the history, geography, like classes, books and stuff, I remember literally almost falling over on the floor going, no, oh my God. I remember the vision in my head. Yeah. And then when we got here, I ended up going into a 2-room schoolhouse, which still exists today for 6th grade in East Amwell.
Wow.
The bus had maybe 20 kids on it. The school had maybe 50 or 100 kids in total, which is still the same East Amwell. And now again, it's grown, but it's just amazing, the preserved farmland, the beauty.
And what you said about being so close to the cities. I mean, it's just unbelievable that you can be in New York. I mean, we get the bus from Clinton, and you can literally be in Times Square sometimes 48 minutes.
Oh yeah, and you go a lot to the city with you,
entertain. When you're coming back, and you're like, I was just in Times Square, and there's a cow.
I know.
There's a goat. You just can't believe it.
There's a place up on Route 12 going out towards Frenchtown, again, like you say, West Central, almost out to the Delaware.
Yeah.
And it's like a consignment shop or something, right? But when you're on 12 heading towards Lambertville, I swear to God, I always laugh because there's chicken, like you say, walking across the street.
Right.
Tumbleweed, rolling across the street.
Yeah.
It's so much not what people think it is. But we are going to get to our first break again. I'm Jeanne Murphy. I'm a Weicker real estate agent, and I have my public relations firm, Jeanne Murphy Public Relations. This is I Love New Jersey Radio. If you know somebody who'd like to be on this, because it's all about location, then just let me know. But in the meantime, our guest is Anne Thornton. Yep, we're going to our quick break. Anne Thornton from MSI Plumbing and Remodeling right here, and also the author of the book, Anne Thornton's Insider's Guides to Home Improvement. She's going to share a bunch of information with us. So stay with us, and thanks for listening in and watching us on Facebook.
Are you struggling to find the right person to stay in a critical role in your company? Trying to attract and retain millennials? Regional Personnel is your staffing solution. Located in Lebanon, New Jersey, Regional Personnel is an ASA-certified, privately held staffing and recruiting firm, providing you with everything from temporary to permanent employees. As ASA-certified professionals, we employ the latest tools and techniques to find, screen, and present to you the best talent that fits your needs. The result? Access to top talent in the shortest time with the lowest chance of turnover. We guarantee it. So call Regional today at 908-534-8113 or visit us on the web at regionalpersonnel.com.
Did you know that 1 in 5 people are affected by mental illness? NAMI Hunterdon is the locally affiliate for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We are all volunteers, and all our programs are free of charge. We offer Family to Family, a 12-week course for families that have an adult member with mental illness. Another popular program is In Our Own Voice, where individuals who are living with mental illness discuss their challenges and their progress in overcoming those challenges. Another course we offer is Basics, a 6-week course for families with a child or an adolescent who has experienced mental illness. We also have a monthly support group for families on the third Thursday of every month. Please call NAMI Hunterton at 908-284-0500 for more information about any of our programs or to join. NAMI Hunterton, the voice for mental health in Hunterdon County.
Are you looking to get your message in front of a qualified audience through all the noise out there today? Consider taking an advertisement out on Hunterdon Chamber Radio, WHCR DB, the voice of business. Contact the Chamber today at 908-782-7115 or give us an email at info@hunterdon-chamber.org. You're listening to WHCR DB, HunterdonChamberRadio.com. Brought to you by the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
All right, we are laughing here. We are laughing.
Oh, yes, we
Anne
are.
Thornton is just the most awesome person. I swear, her personality and her energy.
Let's talk about things
this is
going
my
on.
show.
Let's talk about things going on in Hunterdon.
All right, okay. I love New Jersey. Location, focusing on Hunterdon County and our assets here.
So do you think that we're seeing an uptick in sales for residential sales? You know, in addition to MSI Plumbing and Remodeling,
Yes.
which provides plumbing and remodeling
And all
to
this-
homes and small businesses. We also have a property management company that manages condos and office buildings. So we see some things, but I'm interested to hear what you think and what you're hearing in the industry about our sales, residential sales.
Yeah, let me
Pick it
tell you.
up.
Okay, thank you. It's absolutely fascinating. Okay, so I have been like for the last 4 weeks consecutively having open houses at Weikert, right? Literally no loss of 10 couples to 18 couples.
A weekend.
Walking into a 12 to 4 open house.
Wow.
Finding the information about the house on Zillow.
Right.
And then coming in unagented, because I'm a Weikert agent, so I'll ask them right away, which is an awesome thing. But I love getting to know them. And I love the first-time home buyers, too.
Yeah.
And they don't realize what an agent does versus just seeing it on Zillow showing up and they're thinking, maybe I'll put an offer in, but that's not the best way to go.
Right.
But anyway, so what we're learning is that in Hunterdon County, although a lot of people drive and see signs out there a lot, there's no inventory. There's nothing to buy.
There's nothing
There's a high mark as to the listing price, but that's one of the things that we're learning is that a lot of people who are considering selling their home, they either may have it up for sale by owner right now because they want to wait for the spring so that they don't get a picture with snow in it, which everybody understands.
Sure.
But at the same time, if they're just holding off without even for selling by owner. The most important thing to say is that we need homes. We have people. We have all kinds of buyers, but we don't have any sellers. We don't have enough sellers.
Wow.
So the signs that you see, what I'm learning, is also that they were put on too high. And so they've been on there sitting, going down, going down, going down, and people see the signs so much that they don't believe it's even worth seeing. But it's not really about the fact that, it's a matter of a qualified buyer can come to an agent and be shown the properties that are available. But the message is that we want the sellers and those who are considering moving to understand we need you and you'll get a better, higher price and sell quicker if you give us your listings now.
Right.
So that's what's going on.
To get them
so interesting.
Work with the seller to get it ready for that spring.
Yeah. And it's fun. What I've seen is so many people coming into the open houses from Jersey City, from the north, because they're, like you said, 48 minutes and you can be in the city.
Right.
And they are seriously 25 or half hour away from seeing a totally different type of Jersey. There is nobody. You may not even have a neighbor. You know what I mean? It's still, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I love real estate. I love the walk-in. I love talking to the buyers.
Sure.
And I love talking to the sellers.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, what I see with MSI Plumbing and Remodeling, in particular sellers, they'll want estimates because they'll want to, they've been in the house forever and now they want to remodel before they sell it, right?
Yeah.
I always try to tell people, if you know you're going to sell in a couple years, remodel now.
Yes.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy it.
Before
Yes.
you know, if you can, if think in those terms, think in those terms.
Right. That's a really good point.
Yes, and we, discuss with our customers, why are you doing this remodel? Is this for you to live in? Is this for you to sell this place? Because it's going to make a big difference in the kinds of choices you make for the items that you put in there. You go with a lower level.
If you're selling.
Right. Tile or this or that or, whatever it is if you're selling. So, you want to, as a remodeler and plumber, we want to make sure that we're selling the right thing to our customers. So we try to engage them to know that because, if they can save money, if they know they're going to sell it or it's going to become a rental, then you make different decisions about what you put in.
Yes, for sure.
Because believe me, you can get a $100 sink, you can get a $1,000 sink. Which one would you like?
Yeah.
Same thing. It's kind of the same across all brands.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about that because it's like when you're thinking about the sellers and what they should be putting into it as a return on the investment. And then when you also slip from the sellers over to the buyers and then they come in brand new. And then sometimes there's inspections that go on and then they need to have plumbing done to fix whatever came up in the inspections. So tell a little bit about MSI and your services in that regard.
Yeah. And we work with buyers and sellers, and just people who live in their homes.
Yes.
But we do everything from, first let me start with, I have 6 plumbers and 10 carpenters that work for me, and then an office staff. And so the plumbers, they serve for the remodeling jobs, the plumbers. There's several plumbers who are also experts in remodel jobs. Plumbers have expertise as well.
Sure.
I mean, the best plumber, of course, knows a lot about everything, right? But sometimes you're a plumber and you've only really worked in this kind of field, or you've never worked in water conditioning. Or
interesting.
So you might not necessarily be an expert in all things.
That's interesting.
Your
Really.
master plumber typically is, but then there's all levels of plumbers as well. But we'll work everything from just replacing a faucet to repairing the faucet to replacing a cartridge to a whole a whole new faucet, a whole new whatever. So we repair and replace well tanks, gas lines for grills, generators. We do install generators.
Wow.
Generac generators. Leaky pipes, leaky toilets, new we do water conditioning, of course. Everyone who's listening in Hunterdon or really any of central New Jersey, and even if you live in a town, it's like this statistic is like 92% of Americans have hard water. I mean, it's just hard water everywhere, which is why I just gave you that.
Yes, I want you to talk about some of your tips. Yep.
So we all know hard water leaves all kinds of stains on your toilets, on your sinks, around your faucets, etc. But it's also shortens the life of your equipment. So if you don't treat your water and you have really hard water, then the dishwasher that you have is going to probably last. If was supposed to last 10 years, it'll probably last 7 years. If
I'm
your
serious.
Coffee maker,
I've talked to you
think about it. Everything that water goes through, if it's hard water and not conditioned, then your faucets, your coffee maker, everything.
That is so cool.
It will shorten the life of all of those things.
Anne does speaking all the time, and I've been to so many of her different appearances, and I've learned so much about. So much, but you know what? I just literally, when you said that, I thought to myself, how many times we have had to replace our dishwasher? I was like, what is they have a self-destruct button in a year or something? Because it's like I thought
probably the hard water.
It's probably the hard water.
It's a big contributor.
Yeah.
Certainly can be. Yeah.
Okay.
And then honestly, you live in Ringo's. When was the last time you had your water tested? Because I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. We work with the Raritan Headwaters Association. Because we're all about clean water. I mean, we're plumbers. We're all about water and protecting water. And that's why you hire a licensed plumber, because they know how to protect the water supply.
Yeah, but I want you to know that.
But the Ringo's area has high arsenic.
Yeah. Does that also go? Is that different than hard water?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I get arsenic, but what is it that makes hard water hard water?
There's like 30 things that. Hard water is like the minerals and stuff.
Okay.
But there's phosphates, there's E. coli. I mean, you cannot believe what they test for. And even if you live in a city, the testing results you get, they don't test for everything. So you're just getting basic water tests.
Okay, so there's my mind's still back on picturing these minerals going through my pipes, probably why I don't have any pressure.
I wish I could show you some insides of some pipes. You know, they should be this big around, but they're like that big because they're just filled with rust and minerals and crud and
I can't believe I've not talked to you about this over the however many years we've known each other now. Okay, so go back now. I get that. I'm gonna talk to you about that off thing. But don't forget, everybody, MSI Plumbing and Remodeling. I'm Jeanne Murphy. This is Anne Thornton. She's talking about her business, and it is interesting. I also want everybody to know I have like literally 3 people in my world right now who are trying to find a plumber. Of course, I've told them about you, but I want them all to know it's really hard to find a plumber.
Oh yes, it's.
And you even said you have like specialties in the plumbing world.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
All right, so go ahead. Sorry, talk about the arsenic for a minute.
Oh, just that Ringo's is well known to have a higher arsenic, testing, and you can treat for all of these things.
Even though it's a private well.
Oh, especially because.
How do you treat it?
There's just different. It's different treatment systems.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that.
Depends on what you have. Yeah. But that is a great product. If you don't know this product, if you do have any of these hard water stains, this pumice stick. With a little elbow grease and water, and it will make a sink or a toilet look like it's brand new.
And this is so important. Like if you're selling your house or thinking about listing your house, this is so funny. Okay, she showed me this, and you can get it like what, Walmart or something?
Yeah, or online. Walmart.
Online, whatever. Okay,
Amazon.
and I'm not joking. Okay, so I have this shower, and it was like driving me crazy because it had this rust line going down from kind of, I don't even think it was the shower head. I think it was just from a soap. I don't know what it was. It would not go away for anything. I tried everything. I'm not supposed to use Comet. I'm not supposed to use Soft Scrub, but I tried. Yeah. I tried everything, and it was just there. She gives me this thing, and I swear, she said a little water and stuff. It's like a miracle thing. Like I love those eraser things too, but this is literally the thing that just took the rust.
Know that it is a little bit can be like fingernails on a chalkboard scratching when you're actually trying to rub it off, but it works.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
I mean, I'm prepared to trade off the sound for the thing going away. It was just like a minute and a half after like 7 years of driving me crazy. I was thinking I had to redo the whole thing and get a new whole inside of my shower. I know. And this just took it off, and
it disintegrates as you use it. Yeah. So you will actually use it up literally, and it becomes like little granulars of sand.
It says carbon buildup, rust and paint, hard water rings, and deep stains.
I think you can't use it on glass. What else? Is there something on the back? It says there's a few things you're not supposed to use.
So now I need to glass this.
Oh, here, let me read
That's okay.
it.
You can get it.
Yeah.
You got to get one of these. You have to have one of these. And I swear to God, if you get one, you could share with your whole family, and it probably lasts like 18 years.
You can use it on, oh my gosh. I mean, on barbecue grills, paint on tile, masonry and concrete surfaces, garden tools, lime and algae deposits in swimming pools. Of course, all the scale and rust on metalwork, rock-hard mineral deposits around faucets and drains. Oh, yeah. Do not use it on soft, highly polished metals, unbaked enamel finishes, glass, fiberglass, and other plastics. So basically just glass and plastics.
Yeah, easy. But I mean, just when people know what they can't get that fixed, this is what it is when it comes to that.
And when I give my book talks around the community, some of you may have seen me or heard about them because I've given them, I think, 38 times now to a lot. So now it's probably hundreds of people.
Yeah, and also you're always on social media, so everybody can follow you.
One of the things I love to do. I'm a former teacher, so I love to teach, I guess, and so I'm always putting tips out there in social media or from my book talks, etc. Because there's so many things that people can do to protect their home, make everything in their home last longer, and not have these big disasters. Right. Simple as changing some hoses to your washing machine.
Tell us
every
that.
5 years.
Yeah,
the washing machine hoses are so important. If you don't remember anything else today, people, do this. Washing machine manufacturers recommend that washing machine hoses be changed out every 5 years. Because unless you have a valve installed that you can turn the water off behind your washing machine, then the hoses are under constant pressure, and water is constantly coming in. So if you don't have this installed valve to turn it off, literally turn it off, and you go away, and one of your hose bursts because of the hard water or whatever reason.
Right.
Water flows at 160 gallons an hour. So it'll fill up. I mean, I think the biggest job we've ever done for a washing machine hose was like $230,000.
160 gallons an hour? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just pours out of there.
Yeah.
And imagine if you're gone on a vacation. That's what happened to these people. And their washing machine was on the second floor. And then the mold, and they were gone to Florida. And then the mold sets in. And, you know, so it was the whole upstairs, whole downstairs, whole kitchen. It was a big fancy house. But even if you catch it, you know, and some people, I mean, it can be just, you know, you catch it, you're standing there, or, you know, you come in 2 hours later, or you come in, it depends on, right, when you catch it.
Yeah.
But that is one thing that is so easy to prevent. Because all you have to do is either YouTube it and learn how to do it yourself, is change out the washing machine hoses to always buy the best grade you can, and just know to change them out every 5 years. I'm sure there are many people listening, watching.
Never thought of it.
Right. And they've had their washing machine downstairs, you know, in the basement for 14 years, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the same hoses they're just an accident waiting to happen.
And you also mentioned about the ice in the water in the refrigerator hoses.
Right. The same thing with the ice maker hoses, that they can. Most ice maker hoses that come with your refrigerator are the cheap ones.
And how long are they supposed to last?
I mean, some of them have a 1-year warranty.
Oh, God.
I mean, even a 5-year warranty. If you've had your refrigerator for 10 years, same thing, right? Mm-hmm. This is the advice. So if you're going to change those out, is that you turn the water off to your house first.
Okay.
That begs the question, do I know how to turn the water off to my house? Because when I ask that when I give my talks, 95% of the people do not know how to turn the water off to their house. But the reason you turn the water off first, because before you pull out the refrigerator, it could be a copper pipe back there. It could be a hard I don't know what's back there. But I know it's going to be brittle.
Okay.
So when you move the refrigerator and if it's brittle and bursts, what's going to happen if you didn't turn the water off to your house?
And if you don't know where it is.
Right. Then you're going to cause your own disaster.
Where is the water shut off?
It's typically in the basement.
Oh, really?
And when you do find it, you should put a big old tag on it and tell everybody in your family where it is, including your babysitters and people who come to visit you, etc. So that if there's ever a water emergency, you just say, run downstairs and where that big red tag is, turn that. Because that's, it's not a disaster till it happens, right? When I'm talking to my audience,
you make me laugh because I'm laughing. What about the passion and plumbing you've got?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'm totally into it. Yeah, go ahead.
I know. And I tell my audiences all the time. I look out at them and I say, I know what you're thinking. Now that's not going to happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. But listen, my phone rings all day long for disasters happening to people like you. And I'm not the only plumber, so every plumber's phone rings all day long. So believe me, people,
it happens.
You may not have this disaster, but you're going to have that disaster. And a lot of them can be avoided if you pay attention and maintain your home.
Yes, and this is one thing I really want to make sure I add on about Anne, MSI Plumbing and Remodeling, Anne Thornton. And you can also get her book, Anne Thornton's Insider's Guide to Home Improvement, because she's got all these tips and more like you could ever imagine. I love the one that you were saying, and I love this if you're out there considering selling. I am Jeanne Murphy with Weikert Real Estate. This is I Love New Jersey, and Anne Thornton is side by side with me here. When you're talking about people who are either selling their home again or when buyers are walking through, there's little things that you can see where people have left maintenance beside it. And I know we always go back to the turning of the round thing versus the levers that you're talking about. Can you just describe that? Because I think it's so important when you're considering selling or when you're buying, what you can look for to tell what the older owner really was doing.
One of the things
before they try to camouflage it before they sell.
Yeah, one of the things you can look for under all the sinks is there's a valve that gets turned off. And the old style is called a gate valve or a wagon wheel. It looks like a wagon wheel. It's a circle with right.
It's red.
It's red usually. We've all seen them in our childhood, right?
My childhood.
You still have them. Well, that's unfortunate.
It's
because,
terrible.
As you know, I tell all that is old technology.
Yes.
All of those should be replaced with something called a ball valve, which is a quarter turn. You see me doing it because it literally is just a handle that you turn a quarter turn. The old style wagon wheel gate valves are highly susceptible, especially when they're old, to either stripping or not turning at all. So either you can turn it and nothing happens, or you can't turn it and nothing happens. The point is nothing happens.
Right.
You can't turn the water off.
Can't turn it off, yeah.
So you really think about getting on a program to get all of those replaced in your home with the ball valves.
And it's so, I love the way that you said, as a buyer, if I walk in and see someone with the ball valves, I know they haven't really attended to.
No, the other one.
Yeah, excuse me. If I see the
valves
more technology, newer version,
that's the ball
I
valve,
can see that they have cared for their home better over the years than like someone else.
Yeah, right.
My friend.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, we tend just to be respond. We as homeowners, we just respond
to the emergencies
instead of thinking about what can I do to avert that emergency. Or honestly, if you see one little small water stain on your ceiling in the corner, and you just think, oh, that's you have no idea what's going on behind that. So attend to it now, because it's only going to get worse. It never will get better.
I'm so on your channel.
Yeah.
And I know that, again, like you were saying, it's when they are gotten to the point where they are either getting ready to sell or where they have to fix everything because they have to fix it for something, either the emergency or...
I have a good story for realtors.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So it's not infrequent, it's fairly frequent that we get called in to repair other contractors' work.
Okay.
Plumbers and remodelers, and a lot of it has to do with contractors. They won't have the right licenses, or they won't file the permits. That's a big deal.
Oh.
So we had a customer who had a contract on their house to sell their house, had a finished basement with a bathroom in it.
Okay.
But they never pulled a permit.
Oh.
And they paid some, contractor, I like to say, in a pickup truck with a magnetic sign and a dog riding shotgun, with no insurance, no licenses, no nothing, right? But the cheapest price,
of course. People do it all the time.
People do it all the time.
Uh-huh.
And they had a contract to sell it based on they had a finished basement, right? That was legal, and it wasn't legal. And so the township had told them they had to, bring somebody in to open up a bunch of stuff. They paid us $19,000 to open up a bunch of stuff. Had to be redone, some stuff redone because he had a contract.
Right, because they have to have a certificate of occupancy. They have to have that approval to be able to transfer the title.
Yeah.
So when there wasn't the official permits, they had to actually back up and do it over again.
So for all your listeners and viewers out there, please don't do business with people who tell you, oh, we don't need a permit for that.
Yes.
You can call your township's permit office and ask any question. We deal with all of them, and they're all there to help us.
And they're so nice.
Don't be afraid of the inspectors. That's the other thing. I'm in the inspector's corner because you have to think about this. I have 20 employees. I have all these people out there, trade technicians representing me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a master plumber who knows their skills, et cetera. Are we perfect all the time? No. Maybe we might do something wrong. Or maybe I have a guy that just didn't know what he was doing. We're always checking that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I appreciate the inspectors because they're coming in and saying, okay, MSI's work is right and done correctly.
That's nice.
And if it's not done, then they know that we're really responsive and they let us know and we get out there and whatever. Sometimes it's a little thing. And it can be different and it's not
in
because we don't know what
townships.
we're doing. Right.
Yeah.
In one township, we might have to do one thing. In another township, you got to do this too. So, there's many, many reasons to fail on an inspection. It's not a big deal. It's, but the point is you're getting the inspections. That's the important part.
Oh, yeah.
Totally worth the money. Because you're getting a third party.
Do it right. Do it once.
Right. A third party who's on your side. They're not on my side or my subcontractor.
What if somebody out there is thinking, oh, my God, I am going to be selling in the spring and I did do my basement by myself. What would you tell them to do?
I would tell them to go down to the township office and
not call you first?
You could do that, but if they don't have the permits, then they don't have the permits. We can't help them with that.
I think it's amazing that. Did you ever run into this? By the way, I just happened to have run into it recently, but they actually didn't require permits like 50 years ago or something, right?
Sure.
So then it's what do they do? Do they have case by case type of thing? Each township's different. I mean, if you go walk in and they say we didn't have permits back then, you still have to deal with whatever
they
today
want it
is.
to bring it up to code.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're remodeling, they're going to check your fire extinguishers, and now they have to be
5 feet of
2018. Well, they have to be a 2018.
Yeah.
So there's requirements.
You were talking about fire extinguishers too, with their expiration dates and stuff. What is that about?
Well, they have expiration dates,
Yeah. But people don't. They leave them on the wall for 10 years.
Right, and they're but just look at it and shake it every once in a while because it'll settle. If it's under pressure. So if the arrow is still in the green area, then it should work. But check it because
and you need to know how to use it.
Know how to use it.
I don't know how. And the other thing is, I remember you saying something. One of the first times I met you that I always just think of MSI Plumbing and Remodeling about, and you, is that you were talking about how if you have to send one of your plumbers back for a second time, that it costs
me money.
Yeah, you're like all about making sure it's done right, done slow, done right the first time.
Correct.
Period. Because tell.
Sure. When I send someone to your house, we don't want to call back. We're not exactly airline pilots, but all of our technicians kind of have a process they go through. It's because things in your home can be very complicated, and
I don't even know how.
Right.
I don't even know how you find the stuff.
Right. I mean, it's a big puzzle. Plumbing is a big puzzle.
It has to be.
And it might be some of these houses that we work in are 6,000 and 8,000 square feet.
Or mine is just 200 years old. And I didn't even know I had rooms underneath the basement.
Right.
With plumbing things in it I've never heard of.
So there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
It's fascinating.
And that you can miss.
I love it when you're in the business. Like we are just watching because you're in the business, but it's fun to be part of your side of this thing, just to picture it. Because I mean, like you said,
that's why plumbers are, they're highly educated. They go to school for 4 years and have to have the daily, work experience as well. And then they have to take a test and they have to be researched. I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the basic
leak.
Job of a plumber is really to protect the water supply. To know everything about protecting the water for you.
All I know is I don't care if it was in my pool with a leak or if it was under my sink. I have this complete adoration for a plumber because I can't figure out where it's coming from ever, and I can't fix it. So that's why I love you so much.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We're gonna go to our break. It's already 11:41 on the 13th of February. It's our
almost
Valentine's Eve. My anniversary is on Saturday the 16th, so I get to celebrate like all through the weekend.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be right back. I'm Jeanne Murphy. This is I Love New Jersey Radio. Location with my guest Anne Thornton. MSI Plumbing and Remodeling. She also loves New Jersey. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Did you know that 1 in 5 people are affected by mental illness? NAMI Hunterdon is the locally affiliate for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We are all volunteers, and all our programs are free of charge. We offer Family to Family, a 12-week course for families that have an adult member with a mental illness. Another popular program is In Our Own Voice, where individuals who are living with mental illness discuss their challenges and their progress in overcoming those challenges. Another course we offer is Basics, a 6-week course for families with a child or an adolescent who has experienced mental illness. We also have a monthly support group for families on the third Thursday of every month. Please call NAMI Hunterdon at 908-284-0500 for more information about any of our programs or to join. NAMI Hunterdon, the voice for mental health in Hunterdon County.
Are you struggling to find the right person to stay in that critical role in your company? Trying to attract and retain millennials? Regional Personnel is your staffing solution. Located in Lebanon, New Jersey, Regional Personnel is an ASA-certified, privately held staffing and recruiting firm providing you with everything from temporary to permanent employees. As ASA-certified professionals, we employ the latest tools and techniques to find, screen, and present to you the best talent that fits your needs. The result? Access to top talent in the shortest time with the lowest chance of turnover. We guarantee it. So call Regional today at 908-534-8113 or visit us on the web at regionalpersonnel.com.
Hunterdon Medical Center was started by families for families. Inside our circle of care, we offer coordinated care for your entire family, led by our outstanding family medicine physicians and specialists. Hunterdon Healthcare, your full circle of care. If you need a physician, call Hunterdon Medical Center's Physician Referral Service at 1-800-511-4HMC or visit us on the web at www.hunterdonhealthcare.org.
Everybody over there, get on up. Everybody right there, get into it. Everybody right there, get involved. Everybody get.
Did you know the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce has over 20 active committees that you can participate in? Committees range from focus on business and government to economic development to events like our annual Business Expo. Contact the Chamber for more information today at 908-782-7115 or email us at info@hunterdon-chamber.org. The Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
LOL. All right. Anyway, I'm just laughing out loud with my friend here, Mrs. Hunterdon. I call her. Her name is Anne Thornton. She's with MSI Plumbing and Remodeling. She's all about the community. She's like all about it. She's involved with so many different charities and community activities. And I'm so inspired by her. And then she owns MSI Plumbing and Remodeling. They've got the Hunters Helping the Hungry.
Yeah,
fed over 2 million people. And she does love Hunterdon, and Hunterdon loves her.
Yep.
So
and I love Hunterdon Polytech.
Oh yeah, talk about that a little
I started
bit.
right, and my whole educational background is I was a vocational teacher, so I have an undergraduate degree in special ed and a master's in vocational counseling. So I worked in a vocational school, which was part of a high school district in Little Rock, Arkansas, before I moved, to the east. And so, that was all my training, all my background. I loved teaching school. I taught career education, and I actually taught besides the career education, I actually taught woodworking and horticulture and ceramics.
That's so cool.
I know.
I love it.
It was probably one of the best jobs I ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So, the vocational schools have a very big place in my world. So our local Hunterdon Polytech is a fantastic school. The career and technical education that they provide to our students, both student age and adults,
students, yeah, because they can take the evening classes
is
and
just
adult education.
amazing. Just such a gift to us. And getting back to the whole vocational education idea, I would love to see more people, that there was more emphasis on giving all these kids all kinds of choices for their careers, because not everybody needs to go to college, and not every job needs a college degree. And there's a lot of in between, and there's a lot. Plumbers and carpenters, they make excellent livings.
Oh my goodness! And like I said, they're in demand.
Right.
Like you said, your phone's ringing off the hook all the time.
Electricians, architects.
I wish I would have done that.
There's water conditioning specialists. I mean, there's and then there's all these industries that surround the trades, the manufacturing companies, the sales groups. I mean, there's the retail places, the Fergusons and the Aaron and Company, and so there's tons of opportunities right around the trades. If you don't want to be a carpenter, but you go work at Fox Lumber, you know what I mean? There's just lots and lots of things around the trades, and I would like to see more emphasis put on that, and so that's certainly what Polytech does, and really I think there's, I want to say 20 vocation, no, not 20. How many, you guys have 21 counties?
Yeah.
I think it's only, not every county has their own, has their own vocation. I'm not.
I thought I think you're right. It's somewhere between 17 and 21.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure
like
how many
that,
counties there were. I know the community colleges.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, and they share, just like you said, the Polytech. Yeah.
That percentage, but it's a great program.
Yeah.
And they also do, they're very innovative. They have a program that I've been a part of for the last 2 years where we provide education to women inmates at the Edna Mahan, I'm pointing, at the Edna Mahan Correctional.
It's over there, you're
wherever
right.
it is,
yeah.
Correctional Institute in Clinton. And I love that because I live in Clinton, and, these women at that prison there, even though they're in prison, they're a part of our community. They live here. And, I'm so happy that Polytech got involved, because there's women that that they work with women who are within 2 years of release, and it's a program where the Polytech instructor is out there every day, and they get their OSHA certification.
That's
and
incredible.
They basically build a shed, and they
Literally?
literally build
my
a
God.
shed. So they learn every part of it, from the foundation, what a foundation is, how to put a floor, the whole thing, complete the whole structure with electrical, and I don't think they put plumbing in it, but
That is so cool.
But they learn a lot,
Yeah,
and I work with them, and when I go out, I talk to the women about as the employer. I am the employer, so what do I look for an employee? How do you get a job? What are the job opportunities in the non-traditional women, field, etc. So it's always interesting of course, to go out there because it's tough for a lot of these women to re-enter the world. I mean, especially the ones who have been there a long time. I mean, just think about not even basically knowing, having a cell phone or you've been there 20 years.
I used to be the public relations manager for a place called Crawford House, which is owned now by a different behavioral health system, but this is way back 20 years ago. And I was kind of like a fly on the wall because I would be like promoting and setting up bike rides and stuff, and there would be the group sessions that I would hear. And there are so many people out there who do not or never had any type of leader in their family.
Right.
So literally I would hear things like that. This one woman, she was talking about how I guess they had to learn how to cook their own meals and stuff, right? So they would have like this day where this person was in charge of making dinner. And it was like there was frozen chicken. And so she literally took the chicken outside and put it in a bucket and put it in the sun. And that was how she thought that she should defrost it, thaw it out. And it was like, and I remember just listening, and the counselor was saying to her, this is not how you would go about doing this. Like, and that most basic, important life skills.
Absolutely. When I taught, because basically what I taught was inner city kids, poor inner city kids. And, a lot of it, they didn't have language development. That's why they ended up in special ed. They didn't have language development because no one talked to them.
Well,
they didn't know what an escalator was because no one took them to the mall.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah. And, it's not and I don't mean to cast,
No,
that
it's just
can
so
happen
important.
at all levels of society.
It's so important. I remember my mom said, one of her favorite stories was when I was about 5 or 3 or something. She was saying, can you go get the silverware? Go get the silverware. And I'm looking at her like, huh? And then it hit her, go get the fork.
Right.
But I mean,
exactly.
Basic
That's
thing.
language development.
Yeah, and that's like when I'm 3 years old. So we're talking about it anywhere.
Absolutely.
Anybody need help.
Yes.
You help people. I love that.
Yeah. So anyway, Polytech does a great job for our community. I support them wholly, and this program that at the women's prison is really important because, sometimes those women get out and I've heard stories that they just drop them off at the train station. They don't even have a coat.
Yeah.
They're waiting for a train to go. They don't even know where they're going. So I know there's many groups that help out. So there's some church groups that help out there, and there's a lot of support.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting place out there.
I want you to thanks so much for all of that.
Yeah.
Again, unsurpassed, authentic, sincere community engagement and support.
Oh, I love Hunterdon, and I love New Jersey.
I was gonna say, talk for a couple more minutes.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, you are. High five for that.
Yeah.
All right, so do me a favor. Tell everybody maybe a couple of your favorite places in Hunterdon, in New Jersey even, that you just love, that if anyone's out there is considering moving, buying, selling, that they make sure that they do at least one, take a look at before they go.
Or come. And walk the Kinlockwood Gorge.
Where's that?
In Highbridge.
Okay.
Yeah, you not been there?
No.
Oh, it's like...
Shame.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to think you're in the deep forest.
What?
Yes. It's this fantastic river.
And that's Hunterdon County's Highbridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of it. I've been here 50 years.
Beautiful.
Really?
Yes, and there's a nice long path that you can walk on. It's pretty... Yeah, I can't believe you've not been there.
No, I haven't.
It's called the Kinlockwood Gorge.
Okay, cool. All right, on my bucket list.
And of course, I love to drive down to the river towns and
I was
do
gonna
the
say,
river
yeah,
towns.
the river
Clinton,
towns,
it's special
Lambertville,
because I live in Clinton.
Frenchtown, Lambertville.
Yeah,
I love Lambertville.
Yep. And of course, the reservoirs are awesome to have picnicking there, and all kinds of space. I mean, the space is just which. When I first moved out here in the late '80s, they were just starting to talk about saving the wetlands and saving space and coming up with the laws that were how they were going to fund that and everything. And, fast forward 30 years, and thank goodness, because we still have a lot of wonder, call it just one, right? It's
Completely.
Just right.
Yeah.
And whoever all those people were that did that, my hat's off to them, because it takes people. It's easy to buy land and turn it into a strip mall.
Oh, yeah.
That's the easy part.
Oh, yeah.
The hard part
planning
is
78 and opening it up to get to New York City in 48 minutes. I mean, you think about the planning and that with all the different townships, communities, cities, and so on that had to work together to make that happen. You remember when it opened, right?
Yes.
Everything changed. And people out there, again, that's what I'm seeing in the real estate places, that they're coming from the outside the city because they can get here so easily. And it is, like you say, so private.
Yes.
It's
absolutely.
amazing.
Yep.
All right, so last words on MSI Plumbing and Remodeling and your social media, and how should people get in touch with you?
Yeah, well, you can find us online, of course, MSIPlumbingandRemodeling.com, and Google for our phone number and stuff. But I guess my last words are really pay attention to the things around your house. And if something doesn't look right, ask a professional. Because if you don't, all you're doing is delaying your disaster. And it's going to cost you more money and headache, time and effort. And so, it's like anything in life. You have to, I'm in the maintenance business. I mean, we'll fix it when it breaks, but we really want to teach people how to maintain
Preventive
it. Yeah, because we have plenty of work.
Yeah.
Believe me, my plumber does not want to come to your house on Saturday night or during the Super Bowl or whatever, because,
Valentine's
right,
night.
Valentine's night. And, when you see what plumbers charge to do that, you don't want them to come out. One of our main goals for our on-call plumbers, because, people have a 24-hour emergency.
Of course.
I would say that probably 85% of the time, we're able to talk them off the cliff and tell them how to turn the water off.
Oh, that's good.
That kind of emergency.
Yeah.
Because, getting someone out there in the middle of the night or whatever, we always leave our Mondays very light. We don't pre-book our Mondays.
Because that you're going to get the business from the weekend.
When we say, we could come out, or you could turn the water off, you come out under regular rates.
Yeah.
Then most people will opt for that. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but the maintenance is the key.
And I was going to also just add to that if you are getting ready to put your house on the market or sell in any way, don't forget to reach out to MSI Plumbing and Remodeling to have a quick look through before the buyers come in, paying for their inspections, that are going to find a truckload of stuff and they're going to use it as leverage. So just to have...
That's true. I didn't think about that, but that does make sense.
When a seller is educated enough, like what you were saying about getting some ideas on if you're going to replace that sink, you don't really have to go for the $100 one. Just go for the whatever, or maybe 100 versus 1,000. But if you're going to put your house on the market, then if they come out and have you walk through and then just give them a once-over saying, this is what's going to happen. And when they invest their $500, $350, the buyers, into that report, if that on your list is over there on that list, it's going to be more of a damage than whatever the cost of it is, because it's a leverage. And you could lose the sale over the whole thing just because you didn't take 5 minminutes to have an...
Well, and the other thing is, if you do things like replace all those valves and stuff like that, you can just count it
for
and
more
say,
money.
This house, we've already done all this. This house is already up to date.
And that inspector will see that stuff, and it will be worth your investment in that regard, for sure. If you're getting ready to sell your home, or if you have a home that you know that you're deliberately not selling right now in Hunterdon County, please call me. I'm Jeanne Murphy. This is, I love New Jersey, and you know it's true. Location. My guest is Anne Thornton from MSI Plumbing and Remodeling again and again. If you're thinking of listing, don't hold off. Please get in touch, because we've got buyers, and we just don't have the houses. Last words.
Maintain your location.
That's adorable. All right, again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful and happy
Thanksgiving.
Valentine's.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, Valentine's will be soon enough here. I can't believe it. All right, have a great day. See you at 3 o'clock on Talented People.
The news is sponsored by the Hunterdon Medical Center. Hunterdon Medical Center was started by families for families.